Good morning and welcome to the webinar. We're going to give everybody just a couple of moments here to get in and settled before we get started. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Good morning, folks. And again, welcome to our webinar around comprehensive wellness and safety solutions for your school, for OSIG members. Thank you very much for your time here. My name is Matthew Toth, and I'm joined by my colleague, Kevin Askew. The chat is open and manned, so please ask all of your questions in the chat or do them in the Q&A section that you see at the bottom of the screen, and we'll make sure that we get to them at the end of the webinar. I know we are scheduled for 30 minutes. We have a jam-packed presentation session, so we'll try to get through that information a little bit quickly to make sure we have time for the questions and answers. This is being recorded, so we will send out the recording for you as well to pass around to other folks that that are looking forward to the information. Again, if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please pop them into the Q&A session or into the chat, and we'll get to those either during the presentation or afterwards. So again, thank you very much for joining us today. Let's dive right into it because we have a lot to cover during this session. So just a little bit about who we are. We are Lightspeed Systems, and we are coming to you with a few different programs that are both either covered or highly discounted through your insurance relationship with OSIG. So we're going to start off with a couple of the paid for, fully funded programs, and then dive into our new Notify platform for you as well. So just a little bit about who we are. We are in the mental health and school safety arena, really bringing different technologies that make it, safer to operate your school on a daily basis. We really focus on a couple of areas to make sure that that safety and that comfortability is there for your students and for your staff members. We really focus on making our technology completely configurable for you. So everything we do is not just kind of here it is out of the box. We make sure that all of our programs and platforms are fully configurable down to your needs. We know whether you're a large school district, a small school district, an individual school, that all of those things kind of change on a daily basis. No two communities are ever alike, so we really focus on making sure that we are configurable for you to make these platforms and these programs really fit the needs of your students, your school, and your community. The second area that we really focus on is wraparound services to help you operate these programs. 24/7 response centers, 24/7 customer service really ensures that your team is protected around the clock, 7 days a week. And then lastly, training. We train your staff, we train your students. We really make sure that the platforms and the programs that we offer to you truly have meaning for your school. They have high engagement. And again, you are getting the tremendous benefits that these programs provide for your schools. So what are we seeing through our platforms here in Oklahoma? The very first platform we're going to talk about is our anonymous reporting platform that is fully funded through OSIG for you. And what you see here on the wheel is what other school districts in your state already see. So we get all of the bullying, the cyberbullying, the harassment, intimidation, alcohol, drugs, vaping in the bathrooms, all of those things, as well as all of the school safety issues. So whether it's planned attacks, weapons, fights, things like that coming to your school, or mental health issues like eating disorders, suicidal ideation, cutting, and self-harm. There's a lot that your students are going through, and we give them platforms to make sure that they can communicate that into the schools themselves. We are over 8,000 schools covering over 4 million students across the country. But most importantly here, as we have that great relationship with OSIG, your insurance partner, we work extensively within the state. So we have a lot of your folks. We've had this relationship for well over 6 years now. Really have a lot of background in the state of Oklahoma. So what is the platform? As I mentioned first, we're going to start with the anonymous reporting platform that is fully funded by OSIG for you. There's a few ways to access. You can access it via mobile, web, or we do have a 24-hour phone center that they can call into as well. We are monitoring this platform 24/7 for imminent threats and will immediately be on the phone with an escalation path, up and including law enforcement should there be an imminent threat. There is also the ability for your students to have 24/7 crisis care as well. There's crisis text line built into the program that allow your students and staff and families to be able to speak with a highly trained crisis counselor 24/7. We typically see this used outside of school hours, and then they will send you a tip while they're in school themselves. There is full two-way anonymous chat back and forth with that anonymous tip line so that your staff, your admins can always get all the information that they need from a student in order to take action very quickly. Full reporting and escalations, as I mentioned, to the right folks at the right time. We do have our response center that always has eyes and ears on the platform. This is a key component to make sure nothing ever slips through the cracks. Our team is highly trained to de-escalate a situation as we're escalating it up to the school if it's an imminent threat. But just know, especially nights, holidays, and weekends, that our team is on the job. We're looking out for the platform so that your admin and your staff don't feel like they have to work around the clock. During school days, we know you're busy. So again, we'll be on the phone with you immediately if there is a tip of an imminent threat that is coming through the platform. As I mentioned, everything that we're covering here so far with the anonymous reporting and with the handle with care and the crisis text line is fully funded and vetted by OSIG, your partner. So there is no cost, no hidden fees, setup fees, or anything like that for the anonymous reporting or the handle with care module for your schools. And the brand new addition this year to the anonymous reporting is our handle with care module. This really helps to connect the school with local law enforcement should there be an event at a student's house in a student's life outside of school hours. So they need to basically tag an event as handled with care within our platform. It gives them a very easy and efficient way to let you know this information through the same platform that you're already getting other tips from so that you can understand if a student needs to be handled with care because they had a traumatic event happen in their lives either the night before, over a weekend, while allowing law enforcement to take the action that they need without giving you too much information, violating their privacy. But again, just knowing that that student went through a traumatic experience and they need to be handled with care. So again, this is just a module within the STOPit anonymous reporting platform. Again, this is fully funded for you as well and a fantastic connection to that law enforcement to get that full kind of circle of what is happening with your students. How Handle with Care works is really a simple model for your law enforcement. It's just a quick questionnaire, kind of student's name, the school that that student's involved with, grade, date, and again, as I mentioned, fully configurable should you need it. We want to make sure that this is very simple for law enforcement to fill out to connect that Handle with Care to the school as quickly and efficiently as possible. So the next portion of our program, and I know I flew through that part a little bit quickly. I just want to make sure that we're on time today. The anonymous reporting, the Handle with Care, has been a fantastic program so far through OSIG, again, fully funded. Kind of turning the page is what happens if something, an event happens within your school. So this takes us to our Notify program. The Notify program is not funded by OSIG, but there is a fantastic discount that is offered on top of the already low RFP price within your state. So this complies with Alyssa's law within your state. The Department of Education put out a fantastic RFP looking for providers for silent panic alert systems, and we were one of the vendors chosen to be a part of that program. So let me go ahead and introduce you to the Notify platform. The reason why we created the Notify platform is really we saw in other schools that we worked with in some of our other programs that response times when it comes to emergencies are still just too slow. A lot of the communication systems are outdated, they're disconnected. The radios, great, they work. They're one to one. They can connect law enforcement, but not everybody else in the building, right? PA systems, very internal, not necessarily connecting to outside forces. There's a lot of different programs, a lot of different buttons, a lot of different areas to go to when an emergency happens. So very disconnected and looking for a platform that can handle all of that together. So we created our Notify program that really can manage that full communication life cycle of an emergency. And I'm going to share that with you today. So, to start it all off, something happens, right? An emergency happens. Now, keep in mind as we talk about this, we always think of emergency platforms for those fires, those floods, those tornadoes, those active shooters, right? A medical, that we need first responders, a big incident. It doesn't always have to be that, right? So this is really a communication tool about an event. I like to use the word event because hopefully none of those emergencies ever really happen with your platform or with your community, right? So the idea here is that if an event happens, right, if it's a fight in the cafeteria, if there's an IT issue, if there's something even small that you may not need first responders for, making sure that that event or emergency is fully communicated out to the people that need to know. So we have various categories. You can see here the kind of the top three, and you can have as many categories as you'd like to make sure that depending on the type of event or emergency, the right folks are notified. In an event where you need to localize 911, you absolutely can. We make sure that you're communicating with the nearest 911 center within the platform immediately. You can see who called 911, you can see when they were called, so there's never an issue where you have folks saying, well, I don't want to call 911 because somebody else probably did and they didn't do it. Two-way chat. You can have full communication with your emergency team as well as your individual teachers. So they can chat in with you as well. They can take a voice note and communicate with you, making sure that you're always in comms with your emergency team as well as your larger group of employees. Responder management. You can communicate with your individual emergency team in a few different ways, whether it is the texting, a voice note, or you can set up comms as far as a conference call as well within the platform. As soon as an emergency is called, we want folks to know exactly what they want to do. We don't want any codes, I got to remember what the blue light is, the yellow light, these different codes. We want them to take action immediately. So as soon as an emergency or an event is called, the folks that are getting notified, they're going to have those plans that you want them to follow pop up for that specific emergency, whether that's shelter in place, whether that's evacuate, whether that's any of the other plans that you have here, making sure that they can do that immediately. We can upload documents for you as well as just typing in notes as well. So you can summarize a larger kind of security plan, or again, you can have those documents that you already have. Through the life cycle of an emergency, you can always add in different groups. Maybe you originally, this emergency or event only notifies the emergency team, but now something's getting a little out of hand and you need to notify the rest of the employees or a different user group. So we allow you to have different user groups within the platform and making sure that you can notify folks without starting a new emergency. Full crowdsource content as well. So your teachers, your employees, your staff members that are in the building or outside, allowing them to take pictures, to take videos, to send that content in to the emergency team so that you always have eyes and ears around the event and the issue that is going on so that you can see that in real time. Facilities management, we can connect to different platforms. So if you do have door locking systems, if you do have HR platforms, if you do have phone systems, things like that, we can potentially connect into them to really kind of ramp that one place to go for an emergency and making sure that, folks in your facilities department that need to click the button to lock a door or need to do something in a different platform can do it all from one area. Or it lets them know. It updates faculty and staff in real time of what the next steps need to be. And at the very end of an event or an emergency, making sure that everybody is notified of the resolution, right? You don't want folks to be locked down into a school, into a classroom, not hear anything for a while and come out too early. You don't want folks to be over traumatized because they've been locked down for hours after an event was over. Making sure if you have any specialized comments after the resolution, that you can add those notes as well. Making sure that folks know, hey, this door is blocked because of the incident, so please go around to the south entrance. Whatever it happens to be can all be communicated in the program. So you can kind of see from the start to the end, this is all one complete platform, from alerting the right folks, contacting first responders, internal and external communications, and then resolving. And at the very end, you can run all of your reports to make sure if you need to send, drills up to the state, you absolutely can. If you need to go back in and see which one of your school buildings had these types of emergencies, a lot of data comes through this program as well to make sure that your safety plans are always up to date and used appropriately. So again, as I mentioned, kind of start to finish, right? This platform really helps communicate, get everybody on the same page while an emergency or an event is unfolding. If anybody here is using the I Love You Guys Foundation standard response protocols, we have all of those built into our program already. We have all of the icons, we have all of the protocols built in, or if you're not using them and you just may not have protocols in certain areas, you absolutely can adopt these and use these within the program while maybe you're adjusting, you're configuring them or customizing them to your own needs. So just know you don't have to have everything all planned out already. We do have a lot of kind of standard response protocols in the platform, but of course, any of the protocols or platforms that you're using, we can get those uploaded into the program to make sure we are configuring it to your requirements. As you might have seen before, when I was talking about first responders, we have the little plus icon next to the 911. If you're unfamiliar with 911 Plus, it works identically to a regular 911 call, except for two additional features. The very first is that it ensures that your 911 call is going to the closest dispatch center to where the emergency is. When you start using cell phones and mobile devices to contact 911, they typically contact the nearest dispatch from the tower that the cell phone is pinging from, not necessarily from the exact location. So this ensures that that exact address, the closest dispatch center, is being contacted. Sometimes that's over, jurisdiction lines. That's, your cell phone just didn't switch over from the previous tower. Making sure when seconds matter that we get folks responding as quick as possible. The second is this platform also works with all of the PSAP caller ID systems across the country, meaning that instead of just phone number and name that comes through the caller ID, we also have the exact location as well as our echo location information that I'll show you in just a moment. So you can know exactly what room, what floor, on top of the actual address that this emergency is coming from. Everything else is a normal 911 call. You don't even kind of realize any of that stuff is happening in the background. You're just having a normal 911 call, but it's very important because the address, the type of category, all of that will be shown to that 911 agent in case you drop your phone while you're running, in case you can't speak during that 911 call. That information is conveyed over to that person. A part of this program is our Echo indoor location. This works with your Wi-Fi access point information to enable indoor location awareness for internal responders and 911 operators, as well as your internal emergency team. So we'll work with you not only to have the address of where this emergency is happening, but as you can see here, third floor office, room 363, right? We can get down to that specific room and floor, just depending if you're kind of one flat building or if you have multiple floors, making sure that folks know exactly where this emergency is occurring. This platform, as I mentioned, can also be used for non-emergency alerts and announcements as well. So we want to make sure that one, the program's in front of folks, that they always have access to it. And two, some schools just use email. They may use like a Remind app or something like that as well. This can replace that too. So you can send out different announcements, different information. You can instantly share. You can include attachments. Hey, it is Spirit Week. Just keep in mind, right? Your kids are going to be coming with this. Here's the flyer that we sent out, right, with the days of the week. You can put videos on there, audio recordings. We work with a lot of superintendents, a lot of principals that'll do kind of like a Monday morning video out to their folks, just giving them encouragement, reminding them of things for the week, whatever it needs to be. You can also choose your audience. So if you need to communicate with just the transportation department, you can absolutely set it up that way. If you want to, send it out to just certain folks in a school, you absolutely can. So again, this gives you the ability to send out non-emergency information. What that means is they're going to get a push notification to their phone. It's not going to start playing the blaring sounds. It's not going to take over the computers. It's not going to activate door locks. It's not going to do all the things that an emergency may do. This will just give them notifications that they can access these announcements whenever they want. You can also get yes or no responses back and forth. So, hey, we need an emergency 8:30 a.m. meeting tomorrow morning. Can you make it? Yes or no. You can get responses. Hey, we're looking for a new name for Spirit Week. Give us all of your responses. You don't have to manage emails, right? You can kind of see them all in one location. In order to get this program set up, we'll work with you, really integrating your programs and your protocols into our system and get it set up. You're looking at about 3 months total, 4 months for setup, but don't be alarmed by that. The later part is really just the testing and kind of us sitting with you. So the first few weeks, we're going to get all your intake forms. We're going to get any plans and procedures that you have. We're going to establish timelines and actions needed. We're going to start setting up that plan repository for you, start setting up your geofences, all of those pieces of the program within the first week or so, making sure that we're getting all of that information from you. Then we're going to spend time training your emergency team, right? Principals, emergency staff, SROs, anybody that you have that is on your emergency team, we're going to really run you through because you'll have extra features and functions within the program. Once your emergency team is comfortable with the platform, we're going to work on training the rest of your staff, right? How to call an emergency, what it looks like when you get it, making sure it's on their computers, making sure it's on their phones, things like that, so that they are comfortable using it. Then the next 2 months, we're really going to just set up a quarterly testing plan with you. We're going to have making sure everybody's fully trained, everybody's comfortable with the platform. We're going to have some live drills. We'll work with all of those things to make sure that you are fully comfortable. And again, you'll always have our support team here 24/7, 365, but really kind of just more of a hand holding during that first period until you say, hey, we got it, right? So making sure we're here with you to feel totally comfortable with the platform. Your dedicated onboarding specialist only onboards our Notify program. So she is an expert getting information across the United States on folks using this platform. So she makes sure that you're up and running based on school size, location, anything special that you have about your campuses, that we can configure the program to make sure that it's working specifically for you. So we're also here to make sure that you're getting full use of the program and all of our programs, whether it's anonymous reporting, Handle with Care, or our Notify platform. We'll have dedicated account managers working with you to make sure that you're getting reviews, you're getting best practices, you're getting check-ins. We do fall relaunches and relearn every summer coming out of the fall. So making sure that you're set up with all of the training videos, making sure your folks are trained. You get new admins, send them our way. We'll help get them trained up as well. So unlike kind of the first group of software that I was talking about, the anonymous reporting and Handle with Care that is fully funded, here our Notify EMS program has significant discounts for OSIG members. So make sure that if you are interested in this platform, you let us know that you're an OSIG member, and there are significant discounts, 20% off of the RFP, 50% off of other setup fees and other fees within the program there. This is a platform that is vetted by OSIG, and so we could bring it to you at a highly discounted rate for being a member and having a wonderful partnership with OSIG as well. So, with that, I know I tore through that pretty quickly. I appreciate you all for kind of staying in there and hanging with me. I know we only had 30 minutes and we had a ton of content to connect on. We have about 6 minutes left in our time, and I want to make sure that we're getting you back to your day. If there's any questions, please pop those into the Q&A session, a section at the bottom, or pop them into the chat, and Kevin and myself will be happy to answer those questions for you. Remember, you will get the recording. We will follow up with you as well. So if you have kind of more one-on-one questions that you want to ask, please let us know. We can talk about pricing. We can talk about all of those other things if this is something that you are interested in. Kevin just popped my email address into the chat. Please, again, reach out if you have any questions. Also, reach out to the folks at OSIG. They have a great team there, and they'll get us connected as well. So with that, let me see if there's any questions that we can answer for you here. Let me go ahead and check the
Nope,
Q&A
nothing in
section.
there yet. We did have a Q&A that I was able, a question in the Q&A that I was able to answer for the attendee there.
I'm going to read it out loud because not everybody can see the
Sure,
Q&A section.
absolutely.
So I watched the webinar today. You mentioned that the Notify program is fully funded for public schools. That does include career techs in Oklahoma. So just to make sure the anonymous reporting in the Handle with Care is fully funded, the Notify program, the emergency management for Alyssa's Law, that is a highly discounted price. So I just want to make sure that there's two programs here. Whenever we kind of do a webinar with those, we always make sure that we're promoting the programs that they are fully funding, but there is a highly discounted price for the Notify emergency management system that complies with Alyssa's Law that the state of Oklahoma wants you to use. So I just want to make sure everybody on the call is very clear. EMS, the Notify program, the emergency management, silent panic alarm, whatever we want to call it, that is a highly discounted price, but there is still a cost associated with it. That's a great question. If there's any other questions on the call, I'd be happy to answer them. Please pop them again into the Q&A session, into the chat as well. Here's another great question. We are already using another system. If we switch over to this, do you have experience moving from other EMS platforms? Absolutely. We know that there was, some funding for other platforms in the state. Previously, we know that you may already be using something that either doesn't have as many features or is maybe too much for what you need. We are highly experienced in kind of all of those top emergency management platforms, moving folks over, taking the response protocols that you have in there, kind of taking some of that setup that you've already done, and really configuring our platform to match or mirror kind of what already works. But maybe you're overpaying for too many features, right, that you don't need. Ours is very simple, yet powerful. Or maybe it's under the amount of things that you need in the platform, and ours offers a little bit more. So again, we can make sure that we're taking what you're using now and moving that into the platform to make sure that you really don't skip a beat. We know Oklahoma schools are really getting started and kicking off now, so making sure that that's all there. Can you repeat which system is free and which one costs associated with my sound kind of? Absolutely. So repeating that. OSIG fully funds, fully paid for, no hidden fees, setup fees, or anything, are anonymous reporting, as well as the Handle with Care module that I started talking about in the beginning of the webinar. The second portion, the panic alert, the notify that panic alert system, that has a highly discounted price for you. There is a cost to the school district for the Notify, that emergency management system, but it is highly discounted for OSIG members. And again, if you're interested, we can reach out. We can kind of discuss the cost and the price of those programs, but just want to make sure that that is clear, right? Anonymous reporting Handle with Care is fully funded. The panic alert system, the STOPit Notify or Lightspeed Notify, is a discounted price. These are great questions. Any other questions that we can answer for you? All right. Well, with that, we have about a minute left in our time. Kevin and I will stick around to see if there's any other questions. If not, please enjoy the rest of your day. Have a happy and safe and healthy rest of your day. And if you're kicking off school with the little ones, make sure that we wish you a great beginning to school.
Absolutely. Thank you.